Hello friends, welcome back. If you remember, last time we were discussing about basics of ratio analysis, basics and implementation of business operations. In today's lecture, we'll try to understand, is there a relationship between management and entrepreneurship? And if there is, what kind of skills would an entrepreneur like you require or would like to understand from this term called as management? If you're aware about the definition of management, it tells you management is nothing but planning, organizing, staffing, leading, controlling of all the activities in order to achieve a goal. So it consists of various functions. Let me tell you the functions of management again. The functions of management are planning, organizing, coordinating, controlling, leading, decision making. Let's start with plans. It is usually said that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now what does that mean? Are plans really that important? Let us understand the definition of plan first. Planning involves selecting objectives or goals and the course of action to achieve them. It provides a bridge to take us from where we are to where we want to go. It's a rational process for which you have to think, sit together with your team and understand, okay, is this the objective we want to achieve? And if this is the objective which we want to achieve, what should be our path of action? What kind of people would be required? What kind of resources would be required in order to achieve this objective? And you make plans for every possible stuff. I'm 100% sure that you should be making plans for every possible activity which you want to do in your business or would help you in achieving that objective. What can be plans? What can be different types of plans? Or why would you require plans? The first core thing or first core aspect where you would require planning would be for your resources. You would like to plan all your resources, including money, people, infrastructure, technology, etc. You would also require plans to understand what should be your organization structure. Should it be a tall organization or a flat organization? Should it be a geography-based organization structure or product-based organization structure? Should it be customer-based organization structure or government-based organization structure? So many a times you will have to make proper plans to understand what kind of organization structure you want. That's not only the thing. You would require plans in order to understand what kind of technological requirements you have. What would be your marketing plan, what would be your finance plan and other functions, including logistics, inventory control, distribution. You will have to have all these plans ready in place. Before moving on to each and every section or each and every function, let's try understanding what are the different types of plans. On the broadest part, the broadest plan which an organization has is called as vision statement. Now what is vision statement? Vision statement, it tells you why your organization came into existence. What is your vision for your organization? Let me give you an example. The vision statement or the vision of Walter Disney when he started Disneyland, or for that matter Disney as a company, was to make people happy. Now you must be wondering, how vague is this statement? How can you analyze that? Are all the people happy? How can you quantify? How can you measure that, okay, have you achieved this objective? No. Now these are the characteristics of vision statement. It is not achievable, but it would give you a direction. All your people know that whatever activities we are doing are to make people happy. For example, in the case of Disney, it gives you a broad direction or the broad way where we have to run. We, what I mean by we is you including your team and your whole organization structure. The next type of plan, which is much narrower in nature, is nothing but mission statement. You must be wondering, what is this mission statement? Mission statement tells you about what is your quantifiable goal. What is the time duration which you would be requiring in order to get that goal, in order to achieve that particular goal. The much narrower concept after mission statement is objectives or quantifiable goals or functional goals. Now these objectives are more specific in nature. A well-known acronym for objective or the type of objective it should be is SMART. That is specific, measurable, achievable, rational, and the next type of plan is objectives. Now these objectives consist of more quantifiable goals. The goals which are very much in sync with numbers and which can be valued in terms of numbers, which can be judged whether you have achieved it or not. You must be wondering, what is this numbers? Numbers is nothing but, it could be your sales, it could be also the time with which you are achieving that particular sales. There is this characteristics of objectives which is called as SMART. What is this SMART? SMART is nothing but all your objectives should be specific in nature. M for measurable, A for achievable, R for rational, and T for time based. So all your objectives should have these characteristics of being a SMART objective. The next step of plan is nothing but a strategy. A strategy tells you of what kind of competitive advantage you want to have. What should be your functional strategy, what should be your marketing strategy. It tells you the road and the pathway in order to achieve that particular goal. The next type of plan is called as policies. We all have heard this term called as policies, but are you actually aware of what does this word policy mean? See, many a times as an entrepreneur, or for that matter as a manager, he has to take many decisions. And for every decision, a manager cannot approach to the entrepreneur or to the founder of the company for his guidance. So for that reason, in order to make managers' task easy or manager decision making easy, entrepreneurs or founders or the top management lays down policies for an organization. So every time when there is a decision to make and the manager is in a dilemma, he refers to the policy. He refers to the policy and understand, okay, if this is a scenario, what decision should be taken? What does our company policy tell us? And he would take that decision in that manner. The next type of plan is called as procedures. Now procedures are nothing but way of doing things. It's the process, it's the steps of achieving short-term objectives or short-term goals or repetitive kind of goals which you and your managers would have. The next type of plan is nothing but rules. You must be wondering, is rules a plan objective, a plan content? Yes, absolutely. It's a plan component. The reason being, once you have, as a founder, once you laid down the rules, you are making your organization run in a particular manner in which you want it to run. If rules are not there, there would be anarchy in the organization. Every possible person would feel that, okay, this is what we want to achieve and it should be achieved in this manner. But as a founder, it's your responsibility to lay down proper rules which gives a proper framework for that organization to run. The next type of plan is nothing but programs. You must be wondering, what is this programs? Programs are similar to policies, but in terms of programs, they are more short-term in nature. They are non-repetitive in nature. Policies and policy decisions are repetitive in nature, but program decisions are the short-term projects which company undertakes. For example, an appraisal program or an MIS program or a SAP program which you implement in your organization or a SAP project which you implement in your organization. It's a process, it's a structure which you bring in place for your organization. The next type of plan is budgets. Budgets again help us in quantifying our objectives. Budget tells us, it gives you a number that, okay, this is the amount of money which you should be taking. You exceeded this budget, means something went wrong, and then you analyze what went wrong. It quantifies your plans to a great extent. There is this concept of management by objectives. What is management by objectives? See, as an entrepreneur, you have to manage people. You have to manage all the other resources which you have in hand. Now, there is this philosophy called as management by objective, where you state objectives in the best possible manner, and then you judge the success or the failure of that particular event from that perspective of objectives. So what would be the process? The process would be, first, you along with your team would sit together, would try to set an objective together. So for example, you as an entrepreneur and your team sits together and discusses that, okay, for this particular financial year, our objective should be 30% increase in sales. Now this objective is decided while taking into consideration the team members also. So together you decide this particular objective, and then you break down this objective to small milestones. You say that, okay, 30% is our annual target, but in half year we should at least achieve 12% of increase in sales. So what happens is, here when you're managing the people around or managing the task around, you wouldn't bother them much. You would only ask whether that objective is met or whether that milestone is met. So what are the benefits of this particular style of management, which is management by objectives? The first core benefit is, it is result oriented. It directs all the resources in one direction. It helps